home away from homes. But I hope Pittsfield is one of those for you. We love having you with us, and we're so glad that you're here. We even tried to get them to stay, but they've got to get on and get going. But you guys are welcome here anytime. I just want you to know that. We're so glad here. I wanted to share just a brief little devotional thought with you for just a moment. Yes, before we do that, as today, one of the things that's changed over COVID is that we have stopped passing the plates in the service, and we're talking about and praying about bringing that act of it back. Yes. So one of those first steps for us today is as you leave today, there will be plates at each door. We want to take a special love offering for the Adams family as they go on their way and go on their journey, and they're faithful to God's faithfulness in their life. So please dig deep. If you sold a car for $5,000, maybe $6,000, you can drop that in as well. We'd invite you to do so. But God is faithful. He will provide. I had a great mentor of mine that used to say, blessings always follow obedience. Blessings always follow obedience. So I want to speak to the graduates today a little bit, but I'll let you all listen in if that's okay. And I want to just encourage you to live in that blessing today. Live in that blessing today. Isaiah 41 is my life verse here that I'm going to share with you. And I just think this is so important. I want to share a few thoughts from it. Isaiah 41:8 says, "But you, Israel, my servant Jacob, whom I have chosen, you descendants of Abraham, my friend, I took you from the ends of the earth, from its farthest corners I called you. I said, you are my servant. I have chosen you. I have not rejected you. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." You know, that blessing is so important to us. When we think about following God, this verse, this has been my life verse since God called me into the ministry. And as I have been studying it and I've been living that out and I've been thinking about it in those depths and those moments where I think about, God, what is your purpose? What is your plan for my life? I'm reminded that God says to me, BJ, I've called you. I've pulled you out. I've set you apart. I have a plan for you, and I'm going to strengthen you. I'm going to uphold you. So do not fear, for I will be with you. You see, he talks to, Isaiah the prophet is talking to Israel. Israel, did you realize that Israel is a blessing? It's a blessing received from the right hand. So let me give you a little backstory on Israel for a moment, okay? In the Old Testament story, we know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and we read about that all the time. And Abraham was told that he was going to be a great nation. You're going to have a son, and you will be a great nation with descendants so far that even you won't be able to count them all. And in Genesis 25, we see Isaac. Isaac comes into the picture. Isaac then grows up, and Isaac meets his wife, Rebekah. And they have twins, a double blessing. Those of you that have twins, is that right? Double blessing. I don't have twins, but yes, thumbs up. Twins are a double blessing from the Lord. Amen. So they have twins, and the Bible tells us that this double blessing, Rebekah is struggling, and she's like, why is this struggle going on? And the Lord reveals to her, you have two nations in your womb, but the older will serve the younger. Esau is delivered first, and Esau, the Bible tells us that he was red in color, and so that's why his name was Esau. He was given the name after what he came out as. And then Jacob was grasping his heel. And Jacob is given the name Jacob, but Jacob is given this name, and Jacob literally means deceiver. I don't know about you, but that's not a really good name to live with. You're going to be a deceiver. But he lives up to his name. You know, Isaac gets older, and as they go about their life, you know, Jacob is the mom's favorite. Esau's the dad's favorite. You're not supposed to have favorites, but sometimes it just kind of happens, I guess. And it gets time for where where Abraham is getting old in his age, and it's time for him to give the blessing. And you know the story. If you've been in church long enough, you know the story. Jacob deceives his father. And Jacob